Hello everybody from Las Palmas airport on Gran Canaria, and from here, from the terrace of the lounge, you have a fantastic view over all those planes that come here, mostly from mainland Europe, to bring the tourists to and from the islands. So that is really nice, mostly narrow-body planes, but in a moment a very special plane is landing, at least very special for this island. That's the beautiful Airbus A350 of Finnair that flies on the longest European route. And today we're going to be on exactly that plane in 6 hours on the Finnair Airbus A350 in business class from Las Palmas to Helsinki. Welcome to the Plane Insider. I'm Chris from Travel Sing Fly. Here you'll explore the world's airlines up close, from economy to business and first class, filmed live on board, authentic and full of detail. You'll also discover stunning destinations across all continents and learn how to make premium travel possible through miles, points and insider know-how built over 25 years of experience. Honest, inspiring and entertaining. It's your inside view into aviation and travel. This is the Plane Insider by Travel Sing Fly. Subscribe now and let's fly. So now it landed, this really beautiful A350 of Finnair. There's actually already 2 reports on my channel about that very plane, and also in business class. But this is going to be now very interesting if Finnair sees this flight as a totally European flight with European service, or as a real long-haul flight, because with 6 hours flight time you could also expect a real nice long-haul service. It's going to be really interesting, and also this is going to give me a chance to not only have a look at business class but also at the rest of the plane. Economy class, premium economy class. The lounge here at Las Palmas airport is, by the way, really good. I would say it's one of the best in the whole priority pass network, and it's also the business lounge for all business passengers that fly out of Las Palmas. So now let's have a look at the lounge, and then finally we get to go to the plane. The Sala Galdos Lounge at Las Palmas Gran Canaria Airport is spacious, and my personal highlight is the large terrace with lounge chairs and a view of numerous aircraft, the runway and the sea. It also boasts a good selection of food, including several hot dishes, a cold buffet, sandwiches, Spanish ham and salami, wine, spirits, beer and soft drinks. Afterwards we boarded our flight through a bus gate. So here we are on board this beautiful Airbus A350 of Finnair, and the business class here is really one of the best worldwide. I can really say that for sure. I've shown it already on 2 different flight reports, one to Tokyo, one to Delhi. So this is a really very good business class, especially when you lie down. However, you can see right away that this is a European flight. It's served as a European flight, not as a long-haul flight, because first of all, first sign is this here. The headsets, so no noise cancelling, nice headsets, but this one here, like for European flights, and then there's no amenity kit, and there's no slippers, and there's no paper menu, but I mean the seat is there, and that is really quite fantastic. I've shown this business class already on 2 flight reports, as I said. One was to Delhi and one was to Tokyo. Also quite interesting to see the crew on board those 2 flights. One was with Indian crew on board, one was with Japanese crew on board, and both flights started in Helsinki. And the non-Schengen lounge there, if you have the high status of Finnair or a special invitation like I did, is a pretty fantastic lounge, the Platinum Lounge of Finnair, including a reindeer burger and a sauna in the lounge. So that is really worthwhile checking out. And now we're about to take off. No matter what plane you're flying on, takeoff from Gran Canaria is always really beautiful, especially if you're sitting on the left side of the plane, because in almost all cases your departure is going to be towards northeast, and you're going to see the volcanic landscape of Gran Canaria and also Las Palmas just after takeoff. And after a few minutes, if you sit on the right hand side, not on the left side but on the right side, you're going to see Fuerteventura, and if the air is really very clear, you're also going to see Lanzarote on the right side. On the left side there's only ocean left after departure and after Gran Canaria. I'm just looking here at this kind of schedule that you can see on your screen. There's kind of a timetable for the flight, and there's one lunch service shown and nothing else. Normally you see there's service and then some snack time and sleeping time and maybe another food service. Here's only the lunch service on that screen. So after seeing that, I'm just wondering how big the food service will be, because it's still officially a 6-hour-long flight, unofficially, so in reality more 5.5 hours, but still long enough to have a substantial meal, to need a substantial meal, of course, and actually also in economy and premium economy class. I'm gonna have a little peek in a moment to the back of the plane just to see what they're getting, and now I'm really curious how that's gonna be. The nice thing is you have the very beautiful screen with all the entertainment, and at least you do have the headsets, and even though they're really not the nice headsets that they have on long-haul flights, and that's the same like, for example, with Lufthansa and Swiss. Even when they have the big planes flying regionally, they have not the nice headsets. They even have no headsets at all. In my first flight with the Swiss Senses plane within Europe, there was nothing, so you could just see the nice entertainment on the screen, but not hear it. So that was really very unfortunate, and at least here they do have the headsets. If I'd only known that there's no noise cancelling headsets on this flight, I would probably have brought my own. They're actually quite nice. They're little in-ear headsets that are noise cancelling. They're perfect for train rides if you want to concentrate, you don't want to hear the noise around you. If you're in a hotel room and you would like to sleep in and don't want to get disturbed by other noises in the hotel, or if you want to sleep in long and you don't want to get woken up by some other hotel room doors, that's very nice in-ear buds, because once you sleep you don't only have the noise being like cancelled out, but also when you sleep down it really doesn't hurt. Your cartilage here around the ear doesn't get hurt, and that is very nice when it comes to that point of view. But also here on a plane it would be the right thing to do right now, because these headsets are cute, but of course they're not so great.
The online health solutions company Finnair developed the Somnipods 3 specifically for relaxing and sleeping. Distracting background noise is filtered out actively, such as the noise on a train or plane, or for example your hotel room fridge and the highway outside your window. Active noise cancellation starts by simply tapping one of the two earbuds, but of course they also function as regular wireless headphones. They cannot provide the maximum noise cancellation of large over-ear headsets, but for their size they perform really well, and side sleepers can sleep comfortably on their ear throughout the night without any discomfort. Unlike regular headsets, the Somnipods fit perfectly in the ear, and different sized silicone covers and ear tips allow for fine-tuning on your auricles and auditory canal. With the app you can also adjust other functions such as sleep mode, or choose desired sounds that can help you fall asleep easily. The app also offers sleep monitoring and various AI health features, which I personally don't use. If you're interested, check out the video description. There you'll find more information about Finnair's Somnipods 3, including a link and discount code that lets you purchase them at a special price for relaxed music listening and above all, more restful nights on the go. A highlight of Finnair's business class on the A350, beside the sofa-like seat, are the large high-resolution monitor screens, and there's a fantastic flight show here, and even a special one for children. Of course, the media library also offers numerous movies and TV series, and there's Wi-Fi on board. You can also download reading material via QR code, and there was also really nice footage about Finnair's over 100-year history. And now, off to lunch.
So at the beginning of this flight, I was already wondering why nobody asked what I would like to have for lunch, because they have to prepare it, right? Now I know why. Before the flight, there was actually an online selection of all kinds of food options that you could choose from online. I never do that, even though sometimes there are really nice things I would like to try, because I want to show what is actually available on board if you don't select anything in advance. So now I know what you get, and that is only one option, and that is chanterelle risotto. So it's a mushroom risotto, and there is something that looks like really not very well deep fried chicken. Then there's rye bread and sourdough bread, and that is it. So it's actually like a service I would expect, let's say, between Copenhagen and Helsinki on a 1 hour flight. But for more than 5 hours, it's kind of minimalistic. As I said already, this business class is among the best worldwide when it comes to the seat, and the seat is called AirLounge seat, and that has every reason, because it's not only very wide, you can see it's like super wide, but it's also very cozy with this kind of fabric, and once you want to lie down, you just slide down like you would on your sofa at home, and suddenly you're lying down. However, you need to know that not all seats are the same. Actually, there's 3 different kinds of seats here, even though they don't have different seat categories. It depends on where you sit to get really fantastic legroom or just very good legroom. And the first row of both cabins here in business class is really fantastic. A very wide space for your feet, really very, very good. When you sit in the middle, on a middle seat, then you also have very long legroom. I mean, it's going down there very far, but it's not as wide. If you want to check out the long-haul experience, check out my video about business class of Finnair from Helsinki to Tokyo, where I was in one of those first row seats, and it made all the big difference. I could choose what airline to take from Europe to Tokyo because I went on a business trip, and I chose Finnair because I thought this is the by far best service when it comes to lying down. Now, a pretty popular topic on this channel: how did I book this flight and how much did it cost? This flight here costs about the same, more or less, in the past weeks and also in the next weeks. It's about 500 to 550 euros one way between Gran Canaria and Helsinki. Or if you want to book with miles, it's 25,000 avios plus about 40 euros in fees and taxes. And that's really not very much in fees and taxes, but that's what Finnair is known for. They don't take all your fortune just by charging fees and taxes on top of your miles. So that's really great with Finnair. And if you have an American Express card, for example, you can very easily transfer points to Avios with Finnair, so that is very easy. By the way, if you want to continue within Finland, it's also more or less the same price. If you buy with euros, it's about 500 to 550 euros as well to go from Gran Canaria to Helsinki and onwards, like in my case to Rovaniemi in Lapland, or it's 25,000 avios no matter if you go to Helsinki or on within Finland. So that is really very nice, and also maybe 9 or 10 euros more in fees. So that's a very good exchange for your points or for your avios. However, of course, there's even better exchange rates for your American Express points, but I talk about that very much in all the other reviews anyway here on the channel. We are landing in Helsinki in a few minutes. Now, how was this flight? First of all, of course, the seat is very special. This is one of the best business class seats worldwide. It's pretty stunning what Finnair has found, what they invented, because this seat is only available on Finnair. So this is really something you should try out if you have the chance. Then the crew was also very, very cute, very nice, very friendly, and also proactive. I had my flight attendant here. I talked with her a little bit about my plans for Lapland, where I'm going right now, and she really took the time to just give me a few ideas about dishes that I should try in Lapland that are typical for the region, and that is so nice and so attentive. I really appreciated it. Very, very nice. Then when it comes to the food, of course, it's this European service. That was interesting to know now. Good to know. But I mean, you just get what you get maybe on a flight from Helsinki to Berlin, not more. But still, I mean, the whole ambiance also makes up for it. It's a really, really nice experience. So if you can do it, why not just go from Las Palmas to Helsinki before you go to your final destination, let's say in Europe or elsewhere. That would be maybe a nice thing also to check out just Helsinki after your visit to the Canary Islands. An absolute recommendation. No matter if you book it with miles or with your euros or dollars. Very, very nice experience and recommended. And here we've landed at Helsinki airport. What an interesting flight. And now we know that Finnair takes this flight as a totally regular European flight, even though it's in a really very beautiful aircraft in a fantastic international business class. I hope you enjoyed watching this report. If yes, give me a thumbs up. And if you like, also give me the hype button. That would be really fantastic. Write all your comments. There's much more behind each of my videos than meets the eye. Nothing is produced quickly or haphazardly here. That's why this channel is different. Every shot, every edit, every piece of research is done by hand with a lot of time, passion and attention to detail. If you appreciate this, then please subscribe to the channel right now. And if you would like to support me further, leave me a super thank or buy me a coffee or two with a little link on the screen. This will help me continue producing honest, independent airline reports and travel videos. Thank you so much for being part of this, because without you, much of this would not be possible. And a really interesting report would be this one over here. Check it out right away. I'm Chris. Thank you for watching.